back. I now recognize the gentleman from Illinois, Mr. Krishnamoorthi, for an opening statement.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to address why we're here today. We're here because sexual harassment remains a big problem in the workplace. Even as we tackle other challenges in our country, we must end sexual harassment. Each year, millions of fans, including myself, enjoy the NFL. NFL teams, coaches, and players influence public opinion on sensitive topics, too. For boys and young men, that means taking cues as to how they should treat women, and for girls and young women, cues as to how they should be treated. That reality is why it's so important that the NFL holds itself to a, quote, higher standard, as Commissioner Goodell has said, and why the NFL must ensure that those who fail to meet that standard are held accountable. For the Washington Commanders, that reckoning, unfortunately, has not come. By its own admission, the NFL says that, quote, the workplace culture at the Commanders was not only unprofessional, but toxic for far too long. Numerous women have accused team officials, including the current owner, of sexual misconduct. Several years ago, another House Oversight Committee chair opened an inquiry into sexual harassment charges, that time involving USA Gymnastics, explaining that USA Gymnastics set the rules and policies that govern the sport of gymnastics and has a significant responsibility to its sport and athletes. That person was Republican Chair Trey Gowdy. We agree. And similarly, the NFL sets the rules and policies affecting pro football, and it too has a serious responsibility to uphold this sport. As one of America's most visible workplaces, the NFL also sets the tone for how employers handle sexual harassment. Our colleagues on the other side have raised a number of issues worthy of this committee's attention, from gas prices to the opioid crisis. We must continue to address those. But at the same time, we must tackle sexual harassment, not just for the sake of the Commander's former employees, but also for our constituents. Today, we must send a clear message that the conduct that took place in the Commander's organization is never acceptable, not in the NFL and not anywhere. Thank you. I yield back.
The gentleman yields back. I now recognize the gentlelady from North Carolina, Representative Fox, for an opening